Today is very important day for you. So weekday you work very hardly. Now Sunday is not like your holiday and like you enjoy day. But you, despite the holiday, and you came to this class. And today we have a few new like a study partner. Usually I consider myself, by myself I'm not really master, I'm not really guru, I'm not really high practitioner. I'm being here just as a study partner. And I can share you my own experience based on study of Buddhism. And you shouldn't think, oh, the Tibetan monk is very special and very, high learned and high practitioner. I'm not really. I'm just very, just a monk. And many areas, you have a more experience than me, and you are really, modern, high educated person. And sometimes I can learn so many things from you. So this class is very equal class. I can learn from you, you can learn from me. As first I let you know, this is the class for like a kind of sharing class. Study each other, get experience each other about Buddhism, about meditation, about history of Buddhism. And the last Sunday, before the Sunday, I talk about the general history of religion, then the major the religion, Hinduism, then Buddhism, then Christian, and then Judaism, then Christianity, then Islamic, then the Buddhism. So we have so many different tradition. So one Buddhism flourished from India to South India to Sri Lanka to Thailand, Burma, and Cambodia and Laos. And another religion, second time, the Buddhism flourished from India, from Nalanda to China, then Japan, then Korea, then and a little part of Vietnam. The third time, and also Buddhism flourished from India, especially from Srinagar, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, and Iraq and Iran. The fourth time, the Buddhism flourished from India, from Nalanda to Tibet, central Tibet, from central Tibet to Mongolia, Russia, and a little part of China. And historically, some of the Chinese, like Qing dynasty, they received a lot of teaching from Tibetan, high practitioner, and they follow like Tibetan Buddhism as well as they follow like Chinese Buddhism. So we have so many different Buddhist tradition, but the tradition, the culture, the way of speaking, the way of living is different. But all of us, the people who believe in Buddhism, the people who consider themselves and are Buddhists, we follow just the basic, the foundation is same. So today I am supposed to talk about meditation. So meditation is one of the very unique technique how to develop happiness, how to achieve happiness. Also, meditation is very unique, very important kind of instrument how to minimize the source of suffering, the cause of suffering. So meditation is kind of very technique, or is kind of instrument or kind of tool how to change your life in a better way. So also the meditation, the term come from most come from Christian. So as a Buddhist, we use samadhi, and vipassana. When we say samadhi, there's kind of two types of samadhi. One is the physical samadhi. Your body keep very calm in a very stable way. This is not that important. The most important one, samadhi of mind, the mental samadhi. So you always have to keep your mind in a calm way, very peaceful way. So Buddhism, of course, most of you receive a lot of teaching from different master, different guru. Of course, you got a lot of information through reading different texts. You have enough information. I think you have more information than me, because until now I just follow Tibetan Buddhism and I just study about Tibetan Buddhism. I don't have a lot of information from different traditions. So based on my experience, based on my understanding, the meditation is the only key, only kind of methods which is bring you to bring you in a happy life. So without meditation, without mindfulness, even though you are really really divorced into like Buddhism, you have a strong faith, or some of you maybe don't have any faith, but everybody seeking happiness, right? There's not any, I think, the sentient being who are not really seeking happiness as a human being or just very tiny insect. Everybody, seeking happiness, not just short term. Everybody wish to have a long term happiness. This is a fact. You are believe in religion, or you just don't believe in religion, or you just reject the religion. It doesn't matter, but you are still seeking happiness. This is true, right? It's the fact. So when we talk about happiness, most of you have enough physical happiness. I don't think you are facing kind of really physical kind of like a suffering. The physical suffering, the physical like painful, the physical discomfort, you can have through using different medicine, different exercise, eating different food, different diet. You can have a physical happiness. You can have a healthy body. Having a healthy body is very easy. Because you can see, I have this kind of physical happiness. I have a headache, I have a stomach ache, I have a back pain, I have a problem in my heart, my lung, my kidney. You can see. Also, you can see the methods. You can see the cause, how you can cure. And also, it's very easy to have a physical happiness. The mental suffering is not easy to cure. The emotional suffering not easy to cure. Also, so difficult to have the methods, the perfect methods for the mental suffering or mental problems. So it is same, a human being or another like a non-human being as an insect. They have a physical body, they have a physical suffering. They have a mind, they have a mental suffering. So all sentient beings is very equal, have a physical suffering, have a mental suffering. So through meditation, you can have a more mental happiness. So also, there's a samadhi. So samadhi is the Tibetan translate as a gom or kom. Gom and kom. When you say kom, means you really have to your mind have to be familiar with the positive side. Familiar. For example, the first time for you so difficult to eat, very like a spicy food, very hot food, very strong chili, so difficult to eat. Then somehow you have to eat the spicy, the chili food. First, you have to eat just little bit. You feel it hot. Then after a few minutes, then you can eat half spoon. Then your the tongue sensation try to familiar with the hot spicy. Then after 20 minutes or after 1 day, then you can eat like 2 spoons of spicy rice, spicy noodle. And after 1 month, then you won't have any problem. You can eat the spicy food, also you can eat the hot chili, right? So the first time for you so difficult to have a mindfulness in generally. Yes, first what you need to do, you need to familiar with your mind with the chosen object. Few minutes. Then your mind has been gone somewhere. Then you have to bring back the mind to the chosen object. You just set a time, just look how second I can be meditate on some particular object. 1 second is okay. Next second time like a second minute, the 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Then finally you can meditate on something for continuously 1 hour. So before you do meditation, you need to know why I am not happy. But I'm not saying everybody you are not happy. But if you ask yourself, am I really happy? Then you need to think, yes, I have enough food. I don't have a kind of dissatisfaction about food. I have enough food, rice, noodle, everything is there. I don't have a dissatisfaction about food. Then you need to think about like your job. Then maybe, I'm not really happy with my job. My job is so difficult. But finally you can understand, yes, the happiness or dissatisfaction, the suffering is just coming from my mind. It's arising from my mind. The mind is the principle. Give you happiness or give you suffering. So, in order to know the minds, first you need to know how many different types of mind I have. All minds are not same, not equal, right? Some mind is really good, when the arising within you feel, I'm happy, and it's really good. Sometimes you can feel, that kind of mind, that type of mind is really bad for me. When you arising, it's you are shedding your body, and you are not happy, even though you are eating very nice food, nice meal, but you are still not happy. Because one of the mind gives you a lot of distraction. That's why you are not happy. So first we need to know how many different types of minds I have. But within the minds, which mind is good for me? Which mind is the mind or consciousness, or so you can use another term, mind, consciousness, what other term? Mind, consciousness, and mental factors. You need to know which one is good, which one is bad. Then, when you recognize, for example, anger is no good. When you get angry, what do you need to do? Most people just ignore, just forget about that. I don't want to remember the person. When I remember that, when I think about that, I get angry and get upset. So many people just try to stop, remember the person. It's not good method, not good technique. What you need to do, intentionally, you need to remember the person. You focus the person, also you remember, the problem between you and the person. Why I have a problem? Then you need to know the cause of the anger. Then you need to change the cause. When you're able to change the cause and condition, then you're able to change the anger. When you're able to change, minimize the anger, then you have a more happy mind. Right? Usually I give example in the icon. When somebody turn on icon, we feel so cold. And what we need to do, it's not just wearing coat. Somehow after 10 or 20 minutes you still feel cold. What you need to do, you need to find out the cause of the icon is electricity. Oh, there's the button, just turn off. Then when you turn off the switch, then the icon is no more functioning, and no more coolness, then you feel warm. So Buddhism is just talking about causes and condition, cause and effect, cause and effect. Without cause, nothing can be exist. So through meditation, is try to change the cause of suffering. Is try to develop the cause of happiness. This is the main practice of Buddhism. This is the main teaching of Buddha Dharma. Buddha don't talk about much about praying, chanting, offering prostration, and so and so. If you read the Buddha teaching, beginning to end, end to beginning, he explained, train your mind, reduce the negative emotion, develop the positive minds, positive emotion. The finally you will achieve 100 degree of positive mind, 0 degree of negative minds. Then we call Buddha in Latin person, right? So if you are really interested in meditation, if you really wish to be happy person, if you really wish to achieve the lasting happiness, there's only one method: do meditation, reduce or minimize the cause of suffering. Arise or develop the cause of the positive minds. It's look like it's look like the people who making the delicious food. First you need to do was you have to go in the market. You need to buy the exact material, the oil, onion, spices. What you have to buy everything from market. It's not enough. Then what you need to do? You have to cook. When you cook, so you need to know the order. Which one put first? Which one put second? Which one put third? So first you need to get information about meditation. You need to know, you need to get information about the positive minds and the negative minds. Then there's an order, right? When you cook a good food, there's an order. You cannot put everything together. You put too much salt, it becomes very salty. You put too much sugar, it becomes very sweetness, not really good taste. So there's an order. What the order will be, look at. Now first, in order to develop meditation, you need to be, generally you have to be very calm person. Your mind will be very calm in general. So in order to have a calm mind, first you need to check what kind of emotion, the bad emotion, the negative emotion is stronger with me right now. Before you do meditation, look yourself. Oh, today I have kind of little ego. My ego is very strong. When the ego is strong, when you try to focus on, when you try to develop meditation on you try to develop compassion, you cannot, because your ego is so strong. The ego always disturbs you. So first you need to reduce the ego. Why are when you feel, oh, yeah, now I have a less ego. Yes, please come and sit. So how you can reduce ego? Because everybody has an ego. Right? Someone has an ego about their name. Someone has an ego about their body. Someone has an ego about their family, brother, sister, education. Everybody has an ego. So how you can reduce ego? Any answer? Anybody has an answer? Right? Everybody. I have an ego. Oh, I'm a Christian. I'm a Tibetan monk. I'm a monk. I have an ego. It's no good. I must reduce my ego. I must respect everybody equally. But so difficult for me. So difficult to have a respect for everybody. It's so difficult to have a respect the people who are totally uneducated. So difficult, right? So the first question: how you can reduce ego about your name, about your possession, about your family, about your brother and sister. You can say somebody has nothing, totally uneducated, not really famous person. They have a very strong ego about my brother is very famous, my sister is so nice. So they have to reduce ego. If you feel, oh, today I have a strong ego. So how? There's many different ways to reduce your ego. Somebody feel, oh, I'm the most beautiful person in the Singapore. Yes, you should say, yeah, you can accept I'm the most beautiful in the Singapore. To be beautiful person in Singapore. Then you need to compare. Am I most beautiful in the Asia? Maybe not. You need to compare. Then you can think, yes, compare with that person, I'm not that beautiful. Then you can reduce a little bit your ego. And somebody has very strong ego. Say, oh, I have a very flexible body. I have a very strong body. Then you have an ego about your body, right? Also, you have to compare. Yes, compare with that person. My body is very flexible. My body is more stronger. Compare with someone. Compare with elephant. Your body is nothing, right? So you have to, and sometimes somebody has a very strong ego about the education. Yes, you are really educated, you have a good education, but the ego is the problem. When you have a strong education, yes, good education is good, but you have an ego about education, and you never have a good friend when you walk in the workplace. When you walk in the office, you have a very strong ego. I'm the most educated person. Then you always look down your co-worker. And they are not happy with you. You are not happy with them. Then you must reduce the ego about your education. Think about our education. How much education we have? In this world today, there is not one person who can speak English fluently, all kinds of English. Nobody has. I don't think one person can speak all English words. All English language. Somebody has a good language about medicine or like a medical thing, not much about science, mathematics. So our education is very limited. Very limited. Even though somebody asks you, please write, the four A4 size letter without mistaking, any grammatically mistaking, nothing. I don't think anybody can write continuously. So we have, even though we have a strong ego of education, we must think this way, reduce ego. So another, when you feel, oh, today I have a strong kind of attachment, strong kind of like negative desire. Desire about what? Desire about your food, desire about meeting someone. What? You need to think, what kind of desire I have, what kind of attachment I have. You must check yourself. Then you can feel, oh, today I have a very strong attachment about someone. I have a strong attachment of food. If you found out, oh, I have a very strong attachment about the particular food, then you need to think about the quality of food. Yes, I'm not saying all food is bad. Yes, the food has a good quality, there's a bad quality. If you look only good quality, then you have a very, very strong attachment, strong desire about the food. Then you need to think, yes, the food is look nice. If you look, from different sides, the final you can find out, oh, the food is look nice, but not really nice. Reduce, attachment or desire about food. It's a very common, problem in the human society. Attachment about the person each other. Negative attachment or negative desire about person each other. This is a very common problem. Not even though I'm a monk. Of course, as a lay person, it's general. Even as a monk, sometimes I can have a strong attachment to someone. Then what do you need to do? Oh, I'm not saying, oh, you cannot have attachment because you are a monk. I'm not going to say that. Then I have to just sit, I need to think, oh, I have an attachment to someone. Why? Because the person look very nice, look very beautiful, look very attractive. The first, perception you have. Then you need to think, oh, the person look very nice. Then you need to think, which part of body is really nice? Which part of body is nice? Because when we say nice, we just looking nice in general way. We are not looking specific way. Right? Then look at when you have a very strong, negative desire or attachment to someone, you need to think, oh, which part of body is attractive for me? Which part of body is so beautiful for me? From top to bottom to top. If you look piece by piece, I don't think you can find, oh, this part is the most beautiful. Right? I'm not saying you shouldn't have a sense of relationship with someone. I'm saying you shouldn't have a strong attachment and desire for someone because it's bringing a lot of suffering and a lot of problem for you. So you have to reduce the attachment. And anger is one of the very negative emotion. Attachment, desire, anger. Heavy anger is very common. Sometimes you have a very strong anger towards your mom. A mom has very strong anger towards their daughter or their son, their family. It's very common. But somehow when the anger arises within you, you notice, oh, that moment I'm not happy, so that's why I use very strong words, the bad words to someone. And after 20 minutes, then you feel, oh, was no good. I use very bad words. I yell it to someone. I have a fight with someone. Then you feel it's no good. It's too late. So what you need to do, when you feel, oh, anger is arising, so you have to reduce right there. When the anger arising, kind of 70%, 80% is so difficult. Because look at all emotion not arising like a 0 to 100% degree. Like there's an order arising 0 level to 1 degree, 10 degree, 20 degree, 70, 100 degree. So you have to reduce that from the 1 degree. When the emotion arises 1 degree, you reduce from the 1 degree. So that's why you need awareness. You need awareness about your minds. Oh yes, when you look at beautiful object, I want to buy, right? You say, I want to buy. Before you say, I want to buy, there's an emotion arising. You need to know, oh, it's arising, just minimize. Anger arising, minimize. Attachment is minimize. from the the lower level. So, in order to reduce anger, minimize anger, what you need to do? You need to do meditation about compassion. In order to reduce attachment, you need to practice meditation on kind of ugliness, non-attached, non-beautiful, non-perfect things. Because when we see something is so nice, so good, that moment we are looking the object is 100% perfect, not any kind of missing thing. So, in order to reduce attachment, you need to look to the objects, not totally complete, something missing. So, in order to reduce ego, then you need to compare other kind of object, or other person, other name, other education. But finally, the anger, the attachment, the desire, the hatred, also now we have many people facing kind of the loneliness feeling. Everything is coming from causes and condition. Without cause, without condition, nothing can be happening. This is the, I think, very important kind of philosophy of Buddha. Do you know why? When Buddha was very young, he was following of the Hindu tradition. He has a many master. Still, he got a question: why we have a suffering? Why all this, cow and sheep, and they have a suffering, they have a problem? He got very big question. Then he asked this question to many masters. Nobody gave him, really the perfect and satisfaction answer. Everybody say, yes, we have a suffering because, the Hindus say that, not God, they say Bhagavan. Oh, because we have a suffering because the Bhagavan gave us suffering. Then Buddha said, oh, it's not true. Finally, he reject the Hindu tradition because the man, the philosophy of Hinduism, they say everything is created by Bhagavan, like Krishna, like Shiva. Do you know that Krishna has not Krishna, Vishnu, there's three heads, one God. Because in Thailand, very common, everybody has a statue, Brahma, has a three head. Three actually. Somebody has a four, but most time there's three. Yeah. Because there are three symbols. Brahma is the creator, one head. He is the kind of preserve the universe, holder, and final destroyer. Three heads. So Buddha wasn't happy with the Hindu tradition. But he's not really saying, he didn't say Hinduism is bad. No. But he was not happy with the Hinduism. That's why he rejected the view, the philosophy which is create everything by Bhagavan. Finally he understood everything exists due to their own causes and condition. Look at right now, we being as a human being, we are not really being as like a cow, like a dog and cat. Because when we are in motherhood, we have a condition and cause as a human being. Then we were born as a human being. So you must think, that my suffering is also coming through causes condition. My happiness, it doesn't matter, the kind of general happiness or ultimate happiness, the lasting happiness also coming through causes condition. Without causes condition, there's nothing can be happen. You shouldn't think, that my happiness will give by Buddha. My suffering also, will give by Buddha. But I don't think many people think my suffering is given by Buddha, but many people think my happiness is given by Buddha. When you pray to Buddha, you feel, oh, Buddha will give me more happiness. Because you can see, many people when go to temple, In front of the Buddha, said, Buddha, give me happiness, give me kind of good business, give me long life, right? He begged to the Buddha. I don't think Buddha can give you happiness. I don't think Buddha can give you the kind of the successful life. But Buddha can teach, only you, he can teach you. Like when we are in school, the teacher was very learned, very experienced. He got all education, he got all experience, but he cannot transform his student. But he just can teach A, B, C. So we have to follow. Finally, you can be as the master, as a teacher. So Buddha Shakyamuni, he's a Buddha. He achieved Buddhahood through study, through learning. So you study, you must learn about Buddha Dhamma. Then you have to practice. Just learning is not enough. If you just want to learn, just study. You don't study about Buddhism. Just don't learn about Buddhism. Because the Buddhism is not just general education, right? Buddhism is not general education which you just have to learn, that's it. Buddhism is, look, like you have to learn Buddhism, you have to practice Buddhism, which is very important for your life. If you have this kind of motivation, this kind of thoughts, then while you learn something Buddhism, you can put in practice. If you don't put into practice, then the information is not even useful for you. So study or practicing is the very, very, very important in the Buddhism. As I mentioned many times, as I said to many times, even the simple job, in order to cook, in order to make a cake, pancake, is very simple job. But you have to learn, you have to practice. Finally, you can make a very nice and tasty cake. Look at it. As a Buddhist, our goal is not really simple one. It's very kind of difficult and very wonderful. So our goal is in achieving Buddhahood. Overcoming from the samsara, overcoming with all the negative emotions. It's not easy. But you shouldn't think, oh, it's not easy, I cannot do. Yes, you must know this is very difficult kind of trust, right? Like a job. Trust. Yeah, trust. Very difficult trust, but it's very possible. As I mentioned in the last class, you shouldn't think, yes, Buddha Shakyamuni was very special person. He could achieve Buddhahood, but I'm not. You shouldn't think this way. You should think, yes, Buddha was the first, and he was just normal boy. He just studied, and somehow he practiced continuously. Finally, he achieved Buddhahood. Why not me? You should think, why not me? Also, you should think Buddha had a potential to achieve Buddhahood. I have also potential. I have an ability. Why not me? And you should think this way. You never be kind of
despise yourself.
Yeah, no, never be look down yourself. And also sometimes in our society, someday you feel, oh, I'm not that talented person. Then you look yourself a little down. Someday you think, oh, I'm not really capable person. Then you feel unhappy. Someday you feel, oh, I'm not that rich person. Then you feel unhappy. You never think this way. You always compare with someone. If you feel, oh, I'm not talented person, you compare with the person who have less talented than you. Right? So study is very, very important. Only study is not enough, you have to practice. Before you practice Buddhism, you must know your, the goal. What is your goal for practicing Dharma? Anybody has an answer? What is your goal? of practicing Dharma. Of course, somebody goes to say, yes, I wish to, born in pure land. Pure land. Somebody say, I wish to be, in the next life, I wish to be good human being. Somebody say, oh, I wish to be, successful person in the next life. Practicing pure name is very common practice in Mahayana tradition. It's very common practice in Chinese society, in the Tibetan society. Many people have some kind of misperception about, born in pure land. Somebody thought, if I just recite in the name of, Amitabha Buddha 100 or million times, I will be born in a pure land. You can't. You really have to recite the name, as well as you need to develop renunciation. You totally need to renounce the worldly being, worldly, the activities. First. Second, you really have to develop bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, because pure land practice includes Mahayana practice, not Hinayan practice. It's not the Theravada practice. Bodhicitta. Plus, you have to know the emptiness. If you practice renunciation, bodhicitta, understanding of emptiness, plus then when you recite the name of Amitabha Buddha, there's no doubt you will be born in pure land. Without renunciation, you cannot become good like a Buddhist practitioner. Without practicing bodhicitta, you never ever become Mahayana, Bodhisattva. You never become Mahayana kind of practitioner. Without study or without practicing about emptiness, you never ever able to eliminate all the negative emotion. Because emptiness minimize, eliminate the ignorance. Renunciation, eliminate and minimize the desire about the samsara. And bodhicitta is, practicing bodhicitta is like taking responsibility for all entire sentient being. Look at that's mean as when we say, of course, somebody think we are follower Mahayana Buddhists. What we call Maha. Maha is like a greater vehicle, greater teaching. How we can say greater? Because look at the motivation is so great. It's focusing whole entire sentient being without exception, developing great compassion, then developing bodhicitta for whole sentient being. That we call great Maha. Right? So you must know the goal. You must know the achievement of practicing Buddha Dharma. Yeah, Buddha Dharma. And you must know what kind of emotion is very bad for me, what kind of emotion is good for me, what kind of emotion is bad for me as well as for others. What kind of emotion is good for me as well as for others. You must segregate. You don't have to, look to others. You need to find it from yourself. You have everything. You have ignorance, you have attachment, you have a desire, you have a compassion, you have a sense of caring, sense of love, you have a passion. You need to find out yourself. You need to segregate to make the two groups. The two groups look like two different kind of army group. There's a negative army, there's a positive army. So while we are not happy, this means the negative armies are very strong within us. While you feel so happy, calm, that means the positive army is very strong. The positive mind is very strong. So we have to be, defense, right? Protect. We have to protect. Defend. We have to defend the positive minds. We have to decrease the negative minds. This must be, main practice of Buddha Dharma. This is the main practice of you. If you try this way, always segregate to different group, try to reduce, try to minimize the negative sides, bit by bit, or try to develop, try to defend, try to protect the positive side, bit by bit. Then, within the few months, you feel, oh, I am much more happier than the 2 months ago. I have a more calm mind than the 2 months, compared with 2 months, I have a more calm mind. Then finally, if you try this way every day, then the main important is no good as because we have a many young study partner. It's no good, as I say, the death. Somehow we have to die, right? Doesn't matter you are young or you are rich or you are poor or you are strong or you are weak. We have to die. We have to accept this is the fate in the samsara. Even though in the China we have a very famous king, he has gone. Buddha Shakyamuni, one of the famous master, he has gone. Even though in the previous time in Singapore we have very famous rich person, very famous person, they has gone. Nobody lived. So somehow we have to leave this world, we have to die. So the moment of the death is very crucial, very important duration. Moment of the death. The moment of the death, you are dead, you really have to maintain the positive minds. If you're able to maintain, if you're able to keep the positive minds, moment of the death, then the next life, definitely I can say 100%, you will born in the good human being. You will born in the kind of the I'm not really say like a pure land. You will born in kind of the better. You will take the better life. Another I want to share. Look at everybody have a very strong wish. We always do pray. Oh, I wish I will be born in a good human being. I will be born in the kind of good human being, right? Everybody have a desire. Think about what will happen after 50 years in Singapore. What will be happen in like a whole Asia or Europe, America, like Africa? I don't think I have a little kind of pessimistic, not optimistic. After 50 or 100 years, these worlds become more, worse than today. We will have the really big environment problem. We will have an economic problem. We will have a health problem. So I don't think we just wish to be human being in this world. It's not a good idea. You just pray to Buddha. You always do accumulate karma in order to take the good life. You never pray to I wish to born again in this world. Maybe it's not a good idea. Okay, this I want to share today. So now, like my new idea. So maybe we should try to do meditation maybe 5 minutes. Within the 5 minutes, sometimes you can feel, oh, my mind is not really staying, focusing, particular object is going somewhere very easy. Or somebody you feel, when you do meditation, you feel, oh, I'm able to focus to chosen object, but my mind is not so clear. Sometimes somebody going to feel, oh, while I'm meditation, I feel my body is so heavy. And some of you may be going to feel, oh, for 5 minutes I have nothing. I'm not able to focus. I don't have a not clear mind. It's not like you're just sleeping for a short time. So what I want to do for you, you try to focus on particular object and experience how long you're able to focus. What kind of obstacle you're going to have. Then we can talk. If I can help, I can say, okay, this is the obstacle. You must, remove the obstacle this way. And somebody said, oh, I have this problem. How I can solve the problem? Right? Then if I understand, I say, okay, why not do this way? Just let you experience about your meditation. Let you experience your obstacle of meditation. Okay, so you just stay, which is comfortable, you just stay in the cross leg, you can stretch your leg, or you just sit here like this, it's okay. The most important, you just try to have a mindfulness to the chosen object. So there are so many objects you can focus, but generally, the best one, if you able to focus to Buddha, Buddha Shakyamuni, or Manjushri, or Koyin Buddha, or the Amitabha Buddha, whatever, because when you able to focus to Buddha, once you have a mindfulness. Second, if you able to focus to Buddha Shakyamuni, whatever you wish to Buddha, if you able to focus 5 minutes, within the 5 minutes, you can accumulate immense merit. There's a true kind of, things happen. One is have a mindfulness, on the other hand, you can accumulate a lot of merit, a lot of karma. Today, okay, now, so you don't have to, totally look at the Buddha, you just imagine in front of you Buddha, in front of you there's a Buddha. Not really big or huge one. The size may be just half feet, like one, not just half feet, not like half foot, like this size, okay? This kind of size of Buddha. Then the Buddha not really, lower than you are like a fourth hand, not really up. Just look at, I with my feet like this way, able to see. You don't look up, you don't look down, you look quite kind of in general way, like this. And imagine there's a Buddha. Today we just focus to Buddha Shakyamuni, with the meditation Buddha mudra, or like a giving mudra or giving teaching mudra. Just focus, have foot of Buddha in front of you, very clear, like a golden Buddha, very heavy. Okay? You don't totally close your eyes, just half open and half closed. And just take image, keep your bodies very still, and like Buddha did. Imagine Buddha in front of you, very clear, very bright, and very heavy. And just focus, totally mindful to the Buddha statue. Okay, so anybody want to ask kind of any question? Why this, why not that? Okay, so before, I don't think you're going to ask any question. My experience, I can tell you what was your problem. Because when you try to focus, when you try to have a mindfulness to the Buddha statue, first, you cannot see the Buddha statue as a very clear, maybe it look like kind of dullness. You cannot see very clearly. Some of you could see the Buddha statue very clearly, but the size of the Buddha statue never stay one size. Sometimes the statue became very big, sometimes small, sometimes moving here and there. Right? You never have a kind of same size. And the Buddha statue never stay in one place, it's moving here and there. And also that there's a lot of color changing. And your mind is not staying there. Because you think I'm focusing on Buddha, but your mind has gone somewhere. You remember things in your house, you remember your workplace. You have so pop ups, so many different thoughts. Why you're not able to focus very clearly? Once you don't have a kind of, your mind is not really familiar with the Buddha statue. Because you have been seeing so many different styles of Buddhas, different color of Buddhas, so you not able to focus particular Buddha's statue. Second, why the size is going big and small and moving here and there? Because sometimes your mind is mindful very strongly. Then the Buddha statue becomes small. Sometimes your mind kind of lose the focus. Then the statue will become big. And why you have so many thoughts, arising very quickly? Once you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of thoughts which is related to the previous, yesterday or this morning or day before or last year. All the memories just coming in your mind. Second, you have a plan. You have an idea. Oh, I have to do this afternoon. I have to do this evening, tomorrow, next year, after 10 years. You have a plan. And all the monies pop up. Then what you need to do, first, you need to forget what you've done in the past. And also you have to forget what you need to do after this class. You just have to just stay here very fresh. Usually I say you have to close the door of the previous thoughts, not let them arise. And you have to close the door, which is you have a plan for the future. Just start to have a thoughts of the present moment. In order to have all of this, what you need to do, whatever you do something, your home, your workplace, but while you're eating, you always start to, mindful. You go, now I'm having noodle, I'm eating rice, I'm eating bread, I'm having juice. Dip up and put it out, like this. Just mindful, what are you doing now? Just mindful. Even when you walk in the street, you should think, now I'm going to my workplace, I'm walking left, right, left, right, like this way. When you reach the train station, you need to remember, yes, now I reached to the MRT station, I'm entering to the, just mindful at the present moment. And for you, very, very easy to have a mindfulness. Sometimes you can see, while you have a dinner with your friend, you just talk. You never know how many different types of food you eat. we finished, right? We are not really, focused. We are not really mindful. So that's why, but basic thing you always have to aware what you are doing. Then the next thing is somebody says, oh, you focus to the Buddha's statue, then you can able to focus very easily. You have to learn this one. When you learn this one, the second time, then you need to focus the particular negative emotions. In order to reduce particular emotion, you have to practice particular meditation. Then, of course, historically in Thailand, many monks, when they do meditation, sometimes they go to the cemetery, sometimes they bring the kind of the corpse, the dead body in front. You say, okay. Because when they look at the corpse or the dead body, they try to do meditation kind of ugliness. They try to reduce attachment, desire, attach about this life, attach about the body, attach about the possession. Think about this way, we have a long plan. So we have a plan for tomorrow. We have a plan for next year. We have a plan for plan or idea for after 5 years. But there's no certain we can live until tomorrow morning. But we have a long-term plan, which is good. If you too much focus in the future plan, then you will someday you forget, oh, I have to leave this world. And someday you forget, oh, my life is not certain. It doesn't mean, study after Buddhism, we scare you. It doesn't mean you don't have to do any plan. You must have a good plan, but you shouldn't think this is certain, it happens certain. Right? So this is I want to say, because when you try to have a mindfulness, there are so many different obstacles. But someday you cannot see the Buddha statues very clearly. What you need to do, you need to focus the bright, right? Like this bright and lightness statue. Lot of light, lot of brightness. And you can see the statue very clearly.
You mean illuminate, is it?
Huh?
The statue illuminates.
Yeah, illuminates. And heavy. When you feel it's very heavy, very solid, when you think, then the statue never shrinks small like big. Solid and luminous. True. And in order to have this kind of, mindfulness, then you have to avoid certain food, of course, certain food and all
Activity.
I don't know what's it.
Sila.
Yeah. You have to practice Shila. Shila. Food, I think, of course, most of you are vegetarian, but I'm not. This I really admire the people who are vegetarian. So you have to avoid kind of vegetarian like a meat, and also you have to avoid the garlic. When you eat garlic, suddenly you feel sleepy, right? It's very strong kind of substance for sleepy. You have to avoid garlic, and you have to avoid meat. If you cook, then you have to practice Shila. Shila is one of the important Shila. In order to practice Shila, you don't have to take a vows. You don't have to be monks and nuns. Look at it. You have to promise, okay, as a lay person, you have the kind of relationship with someone is very common, but you should say, oh, I should have if you could, you say, I'm not going to have any relationship, a physical relationship with someone. If you can't, you should say, oh, I should have a particular person, not everybody. That's when you reduce your attachment a little bit. And also you have to, you have to make a promise, oh, I'm not going to store anything from anybody. Also you reduce your desired attachment. Also, you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to kill any human being, as well as any sentient being who have a life. So you have to make a certain promise. I'm not going to have a kind of misconduct relation with particular person, not everybody. I'm not going to kill any sentient being. I'm not going to steal anything. I'm not going to cheat anybody. It reduces the gross or strong level of emotion. Then you have to focus particular emotion, try to reduce one by one. But finally, you have to reduce the ignorance. In order to reduce ignorance, you need to know the fine reality. For example, this pen has so many different levels of reality. This pen is impermanent. We perceive this pen is as a permanent. Right? Everybody can see the pen, right? If you hide, bring again, you can see same as before. The pen is never exists same as before, just never
change.
Never is changing constantly. What we perceive, the pen is same yesterday, this pen is same as this morning, but it's changing very constantly. But we have a misperception about this pen. This pen is impermanent, we perceive as a permanent. And also the permanent, impermanent doesn't mean it's changing, big to small, small to big. It's changing from the subtle level. Think about it's been almost 1.5 hours. Because 1.5 hour exists, there's a particular time with 1 minute, then 10 minutes. 10 minutes, half hour. Half hour collect and 1 hour. So, things changing from very subtle level, very subtle level, then you can see there's a big changes. Like for me, 15 years ago, like 10 years ago, I have a lot of hair. But now I don't have a lot of hair, but hair do not really lost within 1 day. Maybe they lost 1 hair, 2 hair, 3 hair, there's no more. Right? So changing is a bit like this way. They're very subtle changes, and then there's a bigger change, then big changes. So that's why when we say that impermanent, you shouldn't think, it's just we were born and then we remain another 50 or 70, 80 years old, then we die. It's very gross. You should think things are changing momentarily, very momentarily. Even though as a normal person, you cannot understand the subtle duration. Some of you have some idea about quantum physics, then you can understand how the pen is changing moment by moment, momentarily. When you look at through microscope, right? Microscope, it's like kind of particle is moving around here and there. Some our body, when you look at your body, you can see your body have a lot of hole, big hole. It's changing like this, but we don't understand. We don't notice. You should think things are changing moment by moment, momentarily. That's why when Buddha Shakyamuni gave a teaching about Four Noble Truths, first he talked about dukkha. When he talked about dukkha, he talked about the 4 characteristics of dukkha. Body dukkha, 4 characters. First he mentioned impermanence of the dukkha. Second he talked about the suffering of dukkha. Third he talked about selflessness. And the number 4, when you talk about emptiness. In order to have a good practice, first you need to know impermanence. Second, then you need to know, it's kind of dissatisfaction or suffering. Then number third, you need to know the selflessness. And number four, then you need to know emptiness. Look at, the Viduka have so many different level of reality. The emptiness, when you read the text, when you recite the text, there's no eyes, no nose, no tongue. Right? It doesn't mean no nose. You know, I have a nose, you have a nose. They're saying different way. So this is a very fine nature of all phenomena. If you know the fine nature of all phenomena, then there's no way you can have a misperception. Then there's no way you have a negative thoughts. All the negative thoughts are arising within you because we don't know the subtle level of reality. For example, you have a strong attachment towards, one person. If you know the reality of the person's body, then there's no way you can have attachment. Most cases, right? Most cases, when we have an attachment towards a person, we have most less than 90, I'm not saying like 75%, we have an attachment about the physical body, not the mind, right? You can see very ugly person have a beautiful mind, very compassionate, very patient, very care for others, but we don't have a sense of attachment to the person. Because most times we have attachment with what? Physical body, not the mind. If look at the younger, like a child and the teenager and the like a 70 or 80 and 90%, the mind is always same, but we have a different attachment to the body. So in order to reduce the attachment to the body, you need to know the nature of the body, right? If you really know the nature of the body, then there's no kind of way you can have a really attachment. You have a strong attachment. The understanding of reality is the one of the very important practice, attachment. So that's why after you have a mindfulness, then you have to focus particular object in order to reduce particular emotion. So all the emotion you cannot reduce, you cannot minimize just very simply just pray to Buddha, just do some kind of prostration, do some offering. You really have to focus particular object, then you can reduce the particular emotion. All emotion you cannot reduce, within few minutes, within few hours. You have to reduce one by one, one by one, one by one. It's not like you are training, you are giving training for like 100 children, right? Generally, you can give just training. Generally, okay, you shouldn't go this way, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't eat this. It's very easy. But when you deal with a particular person, then you have to focus particular children and particular discipline. So this is kind of the introduction of meditation. So if you have a more interested, so you can attend next class. And with the one important, I tell my the previous student, there's a culture, there's a tradition in the Tibetan society, in the Chinese society. The teacher have to be remains very bossy, only talk, and finish. And student not allowed to ask question. It's no good way. Look at Buddha said when you read the Sutra, there's a lot of question answer. So in the future, if you wish to attend this class, everybody must be very open-minded, and feel free to ask question. When we have a question answer kind of the session, then I can learn so many from you. If you have there no question answer, you just learn from mine. It's not really fair. So just even though when you go to temple, if you have a lot of confusion, you just go to the temple, look the statue, offering some candle, and just walk out. No. When you meet a monks, when you meet a nuns, you just question, what is this? What is that? Why not that? Just ask question. And you finally you can have a really good knowledge about Buddha Dharma. So far I don't think you ask many questions when you go to temple, right? Even though when you enter temple, you really don't know what the statue is, what about that, you just go. You really have no idea. You must need the knowledge. Even though when I entered, like when I was in Vietnam, they brought me visit many temple. I really don't know I have to pray or not. Because I don't have idea about the statue. Is good or bad. Of course it's good, it's put in the temple. But I have no idea. Sometimes I do a temple, I pray to do the ceremony. I don't pray to particular, statue because I have no idea. That's why you must ask question to the master, the monks and nuns. Because this is really, I think for me really fair, because in Thai tradition, I really like this word. They say the lay person must provide the physical medicine for the monks and nuns. That's when you are offering food and cloth and so and so. The monks and nuns must provide the mental medicine for the lay person. Nobody, very nice word. So you always offering something to monks, you don't receive much from monks and nuns. Not much. So you must ask question and you're going to get answer. And thank you so much. So we finished time, so we are very precise about the time. So we just now, so we recite the dedication.